So, I subscribe to a gentleman um, that has, a certain type of content, and every now and then he goes out of character, so to speak, of what he shows and talks about. And he brought up a topic that I was interested in and I want to comment on. I started writing a lot of comments under his video, and then I decided that it would be interesting for me to tell this story. I could probably do at least 10 videos about this scenario. So, anyway, years ago, not that many years ago, but okay, let's say, around maybe 2011. I belonged to a board game group. Um, and we didn't just do board games, we did all kinds of things. And we met at I want to like change some things around so I'm not giving away locations or anything. We met at something that was like a casual eatery slash coffee shop, and the owner of this establishment loved games, and they didn't have kids, and they had gotten older, and I don't know what their marital situation was. Well, I do, but I don't want to say it. So anyway, see, I just go off on a tangent on everything. So this person had a board game group twice a month for years, and I was a regular, okay? And we had a bunch of regulars. We were a tight knit little group. We also had semi regulars and people who just drifted in and out at certain times. Now, when this person did it, the restaurant was closed to the general public. We had to RSVP in advance. We had to pay an entrance fee. And the group became very bonded, at least the regulars, okay? And we had times where it started around 7 p.m., where we would leave 10:30 because most of us were working. But we had other times when we were there till 1 a.m. or later. I think the record was one time we were going till 3 a.m. It was just one of those, it was one of the most positive groups that I ever belonged to, because I think there were as many, if not more, men going than women. Because when you have women's groups, you get all this catty, nasty, bitchy stuff, period. Oh, I should also preface that I might be using some language that some might find offensive. So if you are a minor or conservative or old fashioned or easily offended, please don't listen to the rest of this. Okay. So, anyway, at the time that I belonged to this board game group, just a few doors down was another restaurant where one of the co-owners relocated, and she was new to the area and she was trying to make new female friends. She was a newlywed with no children. She was a professional woman, and as a co-owner she managed the restaurant a couple of nights a week. And there would be long periods where she just needed to be there, but she wasn't actively doing anything. So she decided to have a ladies group weekly, and I joined that as well. And but it was woman only. Okay, period. So anyway, um, after being a regular at the board game group, okay, there was one evening where we took a break, and it was a little warm outside, and the owner opened the front door, and we went outside for a break. I think maybe one or two people went out to smoke a cigarette, but like it was a main street area with people walking up and down the street. Everybody knew each other. It was awesome. So anyway, yeah, we were hanging out outside and everything. So on that particular night, I'm hanging out outside. Oh, I have to backtrack. So I had belonged to this group for a few years, and one night a new person joins, and it was a very large man, obviously a man, dressed in woman's clothing, with a deep voice, very masculine looking, but wearing lipstick, woman's clothing, and trying to do like a falsetto voice. But I'm originally from New York City, and I went to college in Brooklyn initially and worked in Manhattan for quite a few years. Grew up in Queens. You know, I lived many years in a town that's very GLBTQ friendly, and we have a lot, you know, of people in and around the town. So anyway, this new person joined, and we were all, fairly progressive type people. So, we were welcoming of that person. And that person seemed to latch on to me. And I had only known them for like 2 weeks. I wasn't like, a friend of theirs. They just came to the same board game group that I went to. And the second time they came was the night that it was warm and we opened the door and some of us or all of us went outside and were talking to different people. So when I was outside, I saw the woman a few doors down that was the co-owner of the other restaurant. And I said hello to her. And she said, "Oh, are you coming this week?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I'll see you, whatever." And she was on her way out, so it was very brief. Well, then the, I'll just say cross-dresser, started questioning me. And back then, I was a little bit more naive than I am right now. And I really should not have answered, but they questioned me, and I said, "Oh, yeah, they have a ladies' group there that I belong to." Never imagining what was going to happen, right? So anyway, we're outside talking about different things, a whole bunch of people, and then we decide to go back in. We've had enough of a break, and now, one group of people is going to play werewolf, and another group is going to play Carcassonne. And so we go in, and we do our thing, and everything's fine, and we left about midnight. Well, a couple of days later, I go to the ladies' group, and who shows up but, I'll call her Christine. And I'm shocked. And in front of everyone, when everyone first got there, she says, "Oh yeah, I'm a friend of Jeannie's, and she told me about this group." "No, you were not a friend of mine. And no, I didn't tell you about the group. You fucking stalked me there." Okay? I was speechless, literally speechless. And this has nothing to do with the person being a cross dresser. I don't care if you were a man or a woman. If you lied like that and you followed me to a group and then to try to make yourself more accepted, lied and said that we were friends and that basically I invited you to join, that's wrong. And the person that I am today would have told her off in front of everyone and told her, I don't even want to say what I would have told her, okay? Because I'm trying to not get too cursing. So, number one, the person was inappropriate and manipulative, highly manipulative. I don't appreciate that, period. It doesn't matter whether you're straight, gay, trans, non-trans, male, female. I don't care. I don't appreciate manipulation in any way, shape, or form, period. Okay, so back then I was just trying to go with the flow, trying to go along with things. I think I had recently had a serious surgery, so I was kind of, maybe I wasn't 100%, strong or whatever. So that was also part of it. So, that person showed up every week, very happy and excited to be there. So I was not there alone, like without her being there. So finally, a couple of months later, I go to the ladies' group, right? And she's not there. She's not going to be there that night. Well, the women that were there literally cornered me where I was sitting at a table, and they kind of all got around me. And they weren't threatening or ganging up, but like they were questioning me intensely and inappropriately, in my opinion. And so I told them what I'm telling you now. Whether they believe me or not, I don't know. The owner, the co owner of the restaurant, who also was very educated and was an architect, that was her day job, said, "Oh, does she have a penis?" And I, at this point, got irritated, and I think they didn't understand my irritation. I said, "I don't know. I don't go around looking at everyone's genitals. I'm not the genital police." And I think I offended her, but I mean, I was very offended. I don't know. I could be talking to someone and know them my entire life and think they're a male or a female. I don't know what's going on down there unless I've been intimate with them. And I felt that the implication was that I was intimate with them. Oh, no, not this person. They were not attractive as either a male or a female. Period. Okay. So anyway, I was continuing with that twice a month board game group. That person became a regular. They were very intelligent. They were accepted. But the women's group was very uncomfortable because this person was very manipulative, told everyone they were trans when they weren't. I later found out, not by physical examination, but by her words, that she had no surgery done, no hormone, no nothing. But man, oh man, was she into clothing. She had a blog and she let us know about it. And I read that blog. It's still up and going today. And the way this person operated was they would go to these different groups and take pictures and then post the pictures without our consent or knowledge and write about us. And a lot of what this person said was like so far off from the truth that I was like, what group were they in? Because I didn't see or hear any of this. This person was one fucked up, twisted human being, period. Okay? And I didn't like it. They were socially obstructing me. At the time that I was going to the board game group, I was not involved with anyone. I was not in any kind of intimate romantic relationship. And I was younger then, 12 years younger. And there were some nice looking, intelligent, age appropriate men there. And I think a couple did have an interest in me for seeing me outside of that thing. And any time a man came over and tried to talk to me, this bitch came over, pardon my French, tried to cock block me. Period. So, that's just the beginning. This person made themselves a wart on everyone's ass for years. The women's group at first embraced her, and as time went on, she caused more and more problems. They were uncomfortable with her. Some of them found out about the blog and saw very unflattering essays written about us. And at this point, I had moved to Tennessee. Now it was 2015, and I was away from it. But there was a big blowout with one of the regulars and her where it was really nasty and name calling and oh God, it was. And then I think she stopped going. before all of this happened, the board game group kind of petered out and folded after many years. And then I subsequently had joined a couple of dinner clubs. Okay, that's a big thing around the area where I was living. And this person went there and started all kinds of problems with people. Same crap, different group, different day. People got mad, and she was removed from one group, and it wasn't because of the cross dressing, it was everything but that. All the game playing. Well, anyway, one of the members of the dinner group who was a retired, I don't know if she was a psychiatrist or psychologist, but she retired from Rikers, and her last patient that she interviewed before she retired was the Craigslist killer. That's her claim to fame. So every now and then, her and I would go out, socially, if there were like a cancellation on the night of the dinner group. She lived one town over, blah, blah, blah. And we used to talk about her quite a bit. And, since she was in the field of psychiatry, I sought, some advice from her. And she had said, and I'm quoting her, and again, bad language, well, not bad language, just, she had said, it's not the trans or the cross dressing, it's that she fucked with us. All right. What happened was this person lived part of their life as a man, part of their life as a woman, would go out on dates with women as a man, hiding the fact that he preferred dressing up as a woman, going out as a woman. He joined different groups under both identities, and then when he was removed from a group for causing trouble, then joined up as a man. And the person in charge had to be notified. This person had to be told that you can't do this. They went around doing this. At this point, many people were aware of the blog and saw themselves being maligned, lied about, and pictures without their authorization, information that this person gleaned about everyone's personal life was in this blog, all right? And people were incensed. They were incensed. They were like, anyone could read this and find it, and it has all our personal stuff. Well, anyway, at this point, I was in Tennessee. I do come back to New York while this house is here every summer. And at the beginning, I would run into this person. And then finally, one year, I told her very politely, for personal reasons, I need to disenfranchise myself from you, and that includes social media. I have no problem with you um, on a superficial level, but there have been things you've said and done to me and around me that have put me in a bad position, and I cannot allow that to happen anymore. And this person went off on me so bad and got really nasty. And when I said it a lot nicer than how I'm speaking right now. And I said, look, we hardly ever see each other anyway. We're not really friends. We just happen to belong to the same group. And then I finally addressed this person on how they started off with that big lie and manipulation. And oh, I got blogged about like I was a serial killer. And I didn't care. At this point, I was like, they also harassed their ex-girlfriend, who was the nicest person that I ended up knowing, and misrepresented themselves to this poor woman who met him on a dating site and they dated, and then the bomb drops. Well, by the way, I like to wear dresses. Well, it was a lot more than that. So it's the lying, the misrepresentation. Okay, now I know how it upset me, okay, with what my experience was. And not everyone is this way. I don't want to paint everyone with the same brush. I want to make that very clear. But after having had that experience, okay, I started to think about men in today's world that might go on like a dating site and see a woman that looks very feminine, very sensual looking, very made up, or, whatever. And they think it's a cisgendered woman, and they get involved or they start dating that person, and then they find out that's expecting a lot from any man, and I don't think it's fair. Like, I know of one man, he might even listen to this. um I'm not without sensitivity. If you met a girl and she was really cute and feminine and flirty and she had a certain personality, of course you thought it was a real, I hate to use the word real woman, but a natural cisgendered woman. I would be mortified if I found out after the fact that that person lied to me, because it's a manipulation and it's a form of sexual abuse. If that person says, "Oh, I'm on my period, so I can't blank, but I can give you a blank blank, or we could blank blank," and they go along with it thinking that they're doing blank blank with a woman, and then to find out after the fact that it's someone that has a penis that is not even, you know, had the surgery. And if what I'm saying is offensive to anyone that I know, that I subscribe to, that's, transitioned or semi-transitioned, I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. There are at least two people that I subscribe to that I believe are in that category, and I like them very much. And I don't think either one of them would pull that sneaky crap like what this person pulled. So, anyway, that's only part of the story. There's a hell of a lot more. If I started talking about this person, it could be at least 3 seasons on Netflix. Anyway, everyone, have a great day. Bye.